We don't know. But it was a bit bigger than that, the one I found. A little bit bigger. The eye socket there, you've got a like tiny little eye like that. The eye we found is about this big. The eye socket.
Yeah.
Is it about that time?
Yeah.
Let's do it then, shall we? He's a very good craftsman. He was a cabinet maker, and he did a very good job bricking it all up and trying to patch it all up again. There she is. I am here to tell you a little bit about my life and to test your knowledge, particularly as fossil hunters, in what you know about me and what I collect. Something dramatic happened to me. I was struck by something when I was lightning, yes. All them fossils in the days when I was a child. Do you know the name that we called fossils when I was a girl? Yes, sir.
Skeleton.
No, it was a while before we were finding skeletons, but yes again. Curiosities, sir. I would like to give you a little prize for that knowledge because you've been so good. Here we go. Let me give you a little prize. There's a little dusty ammonite there for you for that knowledge. Well done. So you find a lot of these on some of the stone beds as you walk out towards Black Ven over there. Any idea what these are as well? Yes. Yes. A devil's toenail. Devil's toenail. Now you can really start to see why people got superstitious about this stuff. And a little bit more scary, people started to start their rumors about me. Now this is where you come into play, young sir, because when I was turning 11, my brother Joseph was 12, we found something very, very different in these cliffs. Now, I don't know if any of you are regular fossil collectors. we found part of it. It didn't quite look like that. But the good points for collecting is if you go on Monmouth Beach and keep going, there's some mudslides back there. Be very careful of the tides. Of course, here you have Black Ven sweeping down there, the blackest of those cliffs. If you go right along to the beach and see where it gets really black and muddy towards the shoreline, that's where you'll find lots of fossils. And there's land slip just under Stone Barrow over there. Now, I will say that you must be very, very careful when you go out collecting. Don't go right up to the cliffs and start bashing away. You find the most wonderful treasures actually on the shore. Hat I used to wear. Yes, I was one of the first to invent safety gear. Mary Enning, no one knows about that. Creating a jaw that was then attached to it. We realized that this hole was an eye socket, and we had found the biggest skull known in Lyme Regis at that time. Now, we did know at the time that it was actually the skull of
This ichthyosaur.
Ichthyosaur! Let me give you a little piece of a fossil here. Look at that. That's a tiny little one come out of a rock there. It was an ichthyosaur. But when I went back and we told the people of Lyme Regis that we needed carts, and we needed all the stonemasons, we needed people with hammers, we needed people to come out and get this thing out of the cliff. Because where's my wonderful, there you are. What's your name again, my love? Amelia, that's right. Now I'm 5 foot nothing really, 5'2". The statue's very kind to me. Amelia is about 4, just about 4. Amelia here is about the same height as the length of the skull we found. And when we chipped into that, thank you, Amelia, for just standing there so brilliantly. When we found that thing and we started chipping away at it and getting it out, because of course we had to leave it overnight and hoping that it wouldn't break off into pieces and we'd lose the thing. That's always the terrifying thing about collecting fossils. If you can't bring it out there and then, you can't get cut off by the tide. You have to leave it from the town. They couldn't believe what we'd found. And when we lifted this Amelia-sized skull out of the cliff, it broke off. Seeing us carry a 4-foot skull up into the town, they thought it was a lizard. They thought I'd found a devil in the cliff. Hazard a guess, yes?
10 pounds?
Oh no, it's a little bit more than that. Not much more, but it was a little bit more. Yes? Oh no, now that, I could faint with that amount of money. I could buy 1 million houses with that amount of money. I sold it, yes sir,
£50?
No, it was £24. I sold to a private collector. But that's when I realized I could start to make some real money out of this. I was one of many children. My father died after climbing Black Ven after a long illness. I also lost my dog Trey in a cliff collapse in a landslide. This is how careful we have to be. There had already been found a lot of ichthyosaurs. Yes, sir? A plesiosaurus. Now this is where am I going here? Now this, no, that's the thunderbolt. There you go. Here's a little bit of ammonite. It was the first complete one that had been found outside of Germany. And when I took it back to my shop, it attracted a lot of curious attention. No greater than that of George Cuvier, a Frenchman who came to my shop and told me that what I'd found I had indeed faked. It was a fake that I had put together some kind of lizard, platypus, shoved it together and made off because I'd made a little bit of money with my ichthyosaur. They thought, oh, right, now she knows what to do, shove a few bones together and call them something else. And so it was taken off for verification, and it was indeed verified as one of the first, the first plesiosaurus that had been found outside of Germany, and that started to make my name. But really, it made the name of the people I was selling to. Third big find for Mary Anning. Can anyone name what that was? I came across it past Monmouth Beach, and it looked like a broken umbrella, bits of bones, a very long pointed tail. Can you imagine what the people of Lyme Regis made of that? And, more interestingly, wings. It was the first winged creature I had found. A pterosaur! Wonderful! Thank you so much. Here you are, your very own devil's toenail there. It's a nice, smooth, tactile one there. A pterosaur. It was indeed terrifying, my pterosaur. Very physical piece of work. People don't believe this, but when I was fossiling, I was browned by the sun. I got muscles under these clothes you wouldn't believe. I am a very, very hardy woman. And that is something that people don't take into consideration when they think about Mary Anning, is just observe these things and then start to draw them. And it was my drawings and preservations that actually got people thinking about things. Now, this is obviously a fabulous invention. Someone has made a toy out of my ammonite here. And we think nowadays, of course, now imagine we thought we could grind this up for medicine, for magical medicine. Now we realize that these creatures had air inside these chambers that they could regulate, so that when they were moving around in the ocean, in the sea, but moving with the tides, they could regulate their height just by shutting off some of these chambers. And that's how they moved around catching food in these. Of course, we have no idea what really came out of this shell. We know that there was a shell, but the soft parts of fossils were all destroyed long ago. So this is just an imagining, just as much as yours are, the plesiosaur. This is as much, this is the finger stone, the thunderbolt stone, another fabulous reimagining. But, you know, these creatures, this is over 250 million years old, these things. So when you find your stone fossils, there is still that wonder of thinking, this is a piece of treasure. It's a piece of history. It's not just a piece of history like me. It's a piece of prehistory. That what you find on these beaches are that old. And that amount of time, ladies and gentlemen, was something that my brain couldn't figure out then. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, I have a show with Charles Darwin, who will tell you a little bit more about his theories today and tomorrow at 3. But all of you fossil hunters, keep safe when you're collecting. If you have any questions for me now, do feel free to ask. Thank you so much.